The Australian Professional Standards for Teachers were developed to guide professional learning, practice and engagement that enables the improvement of teacher quality and the progressive contribution to the public standing of the profession. Teachers are to engage with the standards as they outline the key elements of quality teaching and articulate what teachers are expected to know and be able to do at a graduate, proficient, highly accomplished and lead career level. The standards are imperative for educators at all career levels to engage with, as they clarify the knowledge, practice and professional engagement required to create teaching environments in which learning is valued. Furthermore, the professional standards for teachers provide a common reference point for the status and standing of teachers and the engagement within the profession. This allows for clear and consistent understanding of quality teaching and improved student learning across the nation, not just for individuals involved within the teaching profession, but also for students, parents, the community and governments. Learning to teach is an evolving process that requires continual professional learning and growth, and therefore the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers calls for teachers to engage with the profession on an ongoing basis as lifelong learners. The development of the standards therefore encourages teachers to constantly aspire to reach new levels of quality teaching and ensures teachers have opportunities to achieve these levels through providing professional development and ongoing professional learning support. When reflecting on the Department of Education professional development opportunities for May and June 2019, it is overall evident that the Department of Education unsuccessfully considers the importance of improving student learning in a culturally responsive approach and generally fail to address the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, Standards 1.3, 1.4 and 2.4. When looking at the event on the screen, it is clear that this professional development opportunity focuses on developing students' flexible thinking about number. It fails to consider Standard 2.4, as although it includes a session on differentiation, there is no mention of any focus on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander differentiation strategies. There is also no attempt to respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture. This professional development opportunity does, however, consider Standard 1.3, as a differentiation session focuses on learning strategies that will be responsive to learning strengths and needs of students. Standard 1.4 could be considered in this professional development event, as these differentiation strategies include strategies that assist Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples and could be considered from a culturally responsive perspective. The second workshop fails to have any relevance to Standards 1.3, 1.4 and 2.4. There is no specific consideration given to improving student learning in a culturally responsive way. The workshop could have included a session on integrating technology to respond to the diverse background of students, or a tool to assist with the development of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander knowledge and understanding within the technologies learning area. Rather, this professional development event focuses on developing the participants' skills in the use of technology. The final professional development opportunity fails to have any direct relevance to Standards 1.3, 1.4 and 2.4. There is no evidence of an attempt to understand the importance of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and the workshop focuses more on NAPLAN data and learning different writing techniques. To consider these standards, the workshop could have included a session on how to be culturally responsive to the needs of students while teaching writing, or how to include writing strategies that are responsive to students' learning strengths. In Session 3 of the workshop, it does mention supporting flexibility in writing. This could perhaps relate to Standard 1.3, whereby the workshop includes ways to allow diverse students to demonstrate their writing ability in ways that are responsive to their strengths. Overall, there is no professional development opportunities for teachers to learn about diversity and diverse cultures, and none of the workshop schedules mention a welcome to country, which shows an inadequate attempt to understand and respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander knowledge and culture. In order to respond to the learning needs and strengths of students from diverse backgrounds, I aim to implement a culturally responsive teaching practice within my future classroom. In order to achieve this, I will use the cultural experiences, knowledge and preferred learning styles of students to make learning more responsive to their strengths and needs. For example, all resources used in the classroom will reflect multiple cultural and ethnical perspectives. Instruction will involve everyday concepts, and activities will cater for the preferred learning styles of all students in the classroom. I'll endeavour to implement a culturally responsive approach by being aware of my students' cultural differences and adapting teaching practices and learning materials to respond to students' different needs. I would make adjustments to improve students' learning opportunities by taking a strengths-based approach in which I use students' existing strengths and accomplishments and focus on the things they can do in order for them to develop them further or apply them to new learning. I would also allow students to represent their new learning and understanding of new concepts in alternative ways that reflect their strengths. To apply culturally responsive teaching practices, it would be important for me to first take the opportunity to get to know the student, their culture and background. I would do this by including activities in which the student is able to share personal information about themselves and their background with myself and other students. This way I would not only get to know the students and their background and identify ways I can adapt my teaching to respond to their learning needs, but the students would also build stronger relationships and understand each other's culture and background. In order to be responsive to students' learning needs and strengths, I endeavour to be a lifelong learner throughout my teaching career. In order to be a lifelong learner, I aim to continually engage in professional development opportunities. In order to achieve this, it would be beneficial for the Department of Education to increase the number of professional development opportunities that focus on the impact of culture on education and culturally responsive teaching. If I am continually learning through professional development, the most successful ways to cater for the learning needs of students with different backgrounds and cultures, I am more likely to provide my future students with quality teaching and improve student learning outcomes.